26. I got a sleep mask and a clean shirt and a few other bits and bobs. Yeah, I'm okay, thank you. I'm okay, thanks. Because usually with antibiotics, you do know within a few days if they're making a positive difference. But at least if I know, if I've cleared everything up from a gynecological perspective, I'm going to get those test results from those swabs I sent off in the next week. At least if I know that's all sorted out from a gynecological perspective, and all clear there, at least then it can just be narrowed down to being a urological problem. At the moment, we don't know if it's stemming from problems, through that other system. So. I'm going to have to ask the nurse now. Have you got the results back from the blood test I did today? Have you got the results back from the swabs you sent off yesterday? Because all I've heard from the doctor today was just, you gave them swabs yesterday, but we've not sent them off because we don't usually test for them. I mean, it's a hospital. Why would they not usually test for something that's really, really easy to treat and common, but that can have dire consequences if left untreated? I don't know, but I think I'll probably hopefully update them when I call over the nurse in a second. Now we're waiting for swab results from yesterday, blood test results, referral to urogynae, and MRI referral to radiology. So just have to ask for an update on those things because, like I say, my symptoms have not got better. Because they're pelvic symptoms, so they're not like immediately visible, but they would affect my reproductive health. Yeah, hi. Oh, hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, they could lead to like long-term consequences if they are left untreated. And I know one of the nurses came in and said, yeah, but loads of pregnant women have BV and it doesn't cause any consequences. And that's great, but those women are probably above average healthy, so they're maybe making up for it in other areas. But for a woman like myself who already has high BMI, lots of health conditions, something like that could cause the end of a pregnancy. And if it has that much of a dire effect for a pregnant woman, and even for a woman like myself, it's probably not good having it. We'll just have to wait and see what the finds. Because pelvic infections, they can be really serious. Like, it's why Dr. Paul thought I had cystitis cystica, because what starts off as a UTI, if it's left untreated, it causes inflammation in the bladder lining, which then leads to cysts. And I looked up online, and those cysts, they can go from benign to malignant. That can happen. And if you hadn't had the UTI to begin with, then none of that progression would have been possible. So, and like something like cystitis cystica, they could easily visualise, are there any cysts? Like, where's that diagnosis come from? If that's what you think it is and you put me on antibiotics for nearly a week, surely now would be a good time to actually find out if I have got a diagnosis of cystitis cystica. Because when I spoke to Dr. Kazan, he said, well, we don't know if that's what you've been diagnosed with. That's just what Dr. Paul thought. And I said, okay, that's fine. So what's happening right now is I'm having a clinical trial, which is great. What would be more helpful is a formal, accurate diagnosis. But like I said, I'm just going along with the treatment plan for now. And I'm sure they're doing their own plotting and investigating. But cystitis cystica is when a bladder infection hasn't been treated and it leads to cystitis cystica. So there must have been some indication that there is something more happening than just a common lower urinary tract infection, because otherwise they wouldn't put you on medication for cystitis cystica. Which is, for me, actually is quite reassuring. It means that they're aware of the longevity of my symptoms and how long they've been going on for. And also, I asked the nurse who did my blood test today, I said, what are these blood tests? Are these kidney function tests? Are they inflammation marker tests? Are they liver function tests? Are they tests to do with the proteinuria? Are they tests targeted towards the high AOT? And she said to me that it was just a full blood count. So it wouldn't show up. Probably wouldn't show up the effects of an obscure bacteria or a rare infection, but it could, I think at best it would confirm the diagnosis of higher AOT, which was the main thing that was a concern, that the doctor had a concern about last Monday. Personally, this is my opinion on it. It's really dangerous to put unnecessary chemicals in somebody's body, especially chemicals from like prescribed drugs that alter your hormonal chemistry, your bodily chemistry, because it can permanently damage things like your liver. It can permanently damage your heart. You know, these drugs that are chemically altering, they can cause a lot of damage if it's not monitored, if your body isn't really investigated for whether it's responding well. And I do feel like I am still dealing with the consequences of those drugs that were given to me around the time I had my son, 3 years later, I'm almost certain that that is the main contributing factor to why I'm still suffering from these symptoms. Because my BMI at the time was perfect. I didn't have any pre-existing health conditions. My blood tests came back fine. And now I'm suffering from chronic illness 3 years later. I really think people need to, with young women and young men, but especially with young women, I think you need to look at it as, if they're healthy, then that is very, very important to keep that. And however much you might feel for a young girl who's going through depression or anxiety, I think you maybe need to focus on giving her a sense of perspective of how, maybe asking her to volunteer in a clinic for the chronically ill for a few days, just so she actually has a sense of perspective of how lucky she is to be in an able body. And that's not me trying to minimise mental health, but it's just me trying to say, I feel like for me, I was so healthy, and it was not, nobody ever asked me how many times I was going to the gym. Nobody ever measured my muscle mass or my body fat mass, which was all above average, above average, above average. And now that's all gone. And for me personally, if I could go back, I would never, ever, 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 ever consent to a drug being put in my body that wasn't purely for a physical diagnosed illness. I'd never consent to anything that would alter my mind and subsequently alter my physiology. That's just my personal experience. I know how hard it is to lose weight, why people are spending thousands on Manjaro. Why would you do anything to risk a perfect physique? A young, healthy, perfect, pregnant physique? Why would you do anything to put that in jeopardy? I don't understand. I mean, obviously it would have been different if I was trying to break into a bank or had been arrested or something, but I hadn't been. I was literally 39 weeks pregnant, healthy baby, healthy mother, physically, everything was well. So why put that in jeopardy? I never understand. And I think that a lot of the women and patients in here, if they're suffering with their chronic illness, catheters, she's got if they knew that something like that had happened to their granddaughters, while they're bedridden, if they knew that their healthy, young, pregnant granddaughters were having chemicals shoved down their throat just because of the fact that people thought they were mad because they weren't married to a rich husband, or their life wasn't cookie cutter, nuclear family, traditional perfect, or whatever, it was an unplanned pregnancy, what have you. But if they knew that their granddaughters entirely lost their health and put on 35 kilograms due to these substances that they were given, I really don't think they'd be very happy about it. I really don't. I think when you really have suffered from illness, you would never want, you really value health, and you see the value of health above anything else. And so how hard health is to maintain and how hard it is to get good health. 7 months. So that it's not great being woken up in the morning with someone holding a syringe and keep wanting to inject me with blood thinners. I'm not having injections. I don't need injections. I've been going to the gym every day for 7 months. You know, I do not want injected chemicals in my body. My body has been through enough. I think people should be quite careful the way they wake you up, because you have such a thing as like muscle memory. The first thing people want them to know in the morning is, good morning, can I get you a cup of tea? They do not want people with like vials for blood testing and do not want to wake up first thing in the morning to strangers knocking on their front door and people trying to take that blood. There is a time and a place for the latter, not for the former, but not first thing in the morning. Heavens above. So I do not facing the day without having to deal with that. So on the menu we have got tomato, red pepper and lentil soup. We're going to have that, and we're going to have I could get a fish vinegar sandwich, but I feel like I'd rather just have jacket potato with getting a bit bored of tuna mayo, so I might go for grated cheese. Grated cheese. Main course, I'm not going to have a sandwich. I'm going to have a salad, and then for the sides we'll have beans and probably just a side salad. Dessert, strawberry and chocolate muffin. That sounds delicious, and that's really delicious. And then the next day, main course, potato, cheese and leek bake for my main, or Thai green curry, beef chili con carne, or cheese deep pan pizza. I think I'm going to go for the Thai green curry with naan bread. Side dish will be sauteed potatoes. The other side dish will be spring cabbage. Dessert is going to be go for cheddar cheese and cream crackers just for a bit of variety. What's the menu filled in? Hello. Oh yes, please. Could I just have a milky coffee, please? Thank you.
Would you like any sugar?
Oh no, thank you. Just milky. Just a lot more milk than average. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello.
Hey.
Could I have something, please?
Yeah.
What can I have?
Tea or coffee?
I'll have tea with sugar. Oh no, without sugar.
Yeah, so it's
You've
nearly
certainly
6
got
o'clock.
patience to do that.
And I think that night's sleep, I can do lots of live admin on my computer, make lots of calls. And today's gone really quickly.
Oh, excuse me, could you pull that down a bit? Oh, my,
Yeah, one second.
it's too far over there, I can't reach it.
What's that?
I just need it pulling down here. Brilliant, thank you.
We've got rice pudding. Do you want to have it? We've got some rice pudding.
Mhm. Well, that's not good. It's cold, it's
Right now.
yes, it is.
Is it cold now?
Mhm.
Say it. It's not this one.
And tomorrow, all I need to remember is it's Tuesday the 23rd.
Really?
I need to be in my flat between 12 and 6 tomorrow because I have to get this food in. So I need to be there by 12 o'clock because they could come at 12 or they could come at 6. So it's important. Yeah. Brought my own toothbrush, which is
No
good.
more.
My sweet loss. Earplugs.
Maureen, can I take a glass of pressure?
How's that? All right. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I've got knee ache.
What?
Knee ache. My knee aches.
Oh, okay. We'll come and reposition you now, okay?
Please, yeah.
Yeah, we'll come and reposition you.
I'm not ready. I'm not tea, darling. Please come back.
You were due 45
I
minutes ago.
don't care if you need to come back now, Mr. In.
Hello.
Can I speak to you?
Oh, I was just getting changed.
Oh, do you want to come back?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You know, there's one thing I hate is when someone comes up to me and says, I need to speak to you. That's one thing I don't enjoy. There's so many people in an ominous tone of voice saying they need to speak to me. And all I've done is spend all day in a hospital bed for 7 days. I feel like they have a bone to pick with me about something. I'm in here on my own talking to myself. I don't see essentially, she's just going to speak to me about the fact that the blood tests have come back all normal, or they haven't. And then she's going to tell me about the MRI scan, the referral to gynae, and the swab test results. I just, dear Lord, hope it's one of those things. So we'll have to wait and see. I might ring the bell actually now too. And like I say, we respond professionally, we respond respectfully, we respond with the utmost professionalism. And if we do all of these things, then we should be absolutely fine. So I'm going to put this bed up. I think I want to put the legs up, I'm not sure. So let's bring the bed up. I'm going to heighten the bed as much as possible so I don't feel intimidated. I'm going to go really high up so they're not looking down on me. This is fun. Oh God, how high up does this bed go? Okay, I should probably stop for now. Now I just need to put up the back. That's something beautiful. Yeah, hi.
Are you finished?
Yes, I am. Thank you. There you go. Now my legs are going up.
You finished, darling?
Well, I think so.
Yeah?
And now Sleeping Beauty. So we've now got the bed up as high as we need it. All we have to do is put the back up as well. So I've got to move the TV out of the way. This is fun. You know Sleeping Beauty when she has like 12 mattresses? Oh no, The Princess and the Pea, not Sleeping Beauty. I want The Princess and the Pea. Which is wonderful. So hopefully we'll sleep really well tonight. And so realistically I put the lights off at 11. Need to come round and take my blood pressure quite a lot, so I'll probably get woken up for that, but I don't particularly want to wake up at 3 AM again and then have to wait 6 hours for people to stir. But then at the same time it was quite peaceful, so I don't mind too much. It was quite peaceful. And I woke up that early and it was really quiet. It was kind of nice actually. But yeah, so now we wait. Now we wait for the nurse to come back to speak to me. I just wish when people say they want to speak to you, they could say like, and this is just me personally, if they could say, I need to speak to you about dinner, or I need to speak to you about your medical care, or I need to speak to you about the doctor, or I need to speak to you about your mum called earlier. If they like gave me an idea of what they wanted to speak to me about, because otherwise, like me being me, my mind just jumps to the worst scenario when they leave it open, and it causes me quite a lot of anxiety. But I'm sure it's something very like benign. I wish these legs come up more. I really want to I think I want to lean further back. Do I? I think so, yeah. It's quite hard adjusting this. There we go. Hello. Yeah, fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Have you pushed your buzzer?
Oh no, I haven't. That's why I always forget to press the buzzer, and I realised basically there was a nurse who just came over, and I was getting changed into my pajamas, and she said I need to speak to you. I don't know what she needed to speak to me about.
Right,
But,
the tall one in dark blue.
no, she was short. She had glasses, her hair in a bun, brunette.
Okay.
I don't know if she's one of the managers or anything, but she just said she needed to speak to me. She said she was going to come back because I was getting changed, but I haven't seen her.
Okay. It might
So I was wondering if you could just ask her what she needs to speak to me. Thank you. See, look, for the record, that nurse who's just come to speak to me there is so lovely. There would be never any way that I would not want to speak to her because she's just so nice and like softly spoken. And then sometimes people just have they have a tone of voice where you're just like, why? Like, why? Just for the record, with that nurse, I would never have that problem because she's just so lovely. I feel like I need to make a record of every single positive, non-problematic, non-controversial interaction I have with medical staff because 99.9% of them are absolutely fine. And then just occasionally someone comes along who just really gets up your backside, you know, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I just feel like some people just have a bone to pick with me before I've even opened my mouth. But anyway.
lovely singing.
During his by-election victory speech last week, Andy Burnham said the result could be the turning point for politics, but his position on key issues such as welfare, immigration, and defense remains to be seen. Our political correspondent Ben Wright looks at what challenges Mr. Burnham could face in Prime Minister.
Change, as Sir Keir Starmer described, is easier to promise than deliver. And if Andy Burnham does get to number 10, he will face the same knot problems on many fronts. A pressing decision is defence. Sir Keir Starmer was unable to find the money needed to keep the country safe, according to the former Defence Secretary John Healey. The next Prime Minister will need to decide whether to boost military spending further and how to pay for it. Andy Burnham has said getting more welfare recipients into work would reduce the benefits bill and ensure more money for the military. Easier said than done. And Sir Keir Starmer's efforts to tackle welfare reform will still opposition from Labour MPs. Andy Burnham has pledged no crude short-term cuts. The challenges pile up. A long-term funding fix for social care in England. Fighting to visa rules for migrants already and above all, fighting for economic growth. According to Hannah White from the Institute for Government, Whitehall will need to work better too.
Anyone coming in to run government at this point has a lot in their insight, and they will face the same frustrations that Keir Starmer and his team about getting government to work to deliver on those instructions they think they're sending to the leaders they think they're pulling, and then not enough happens in the government machine. And all the while we have a public that is restive, that is frustrated, that doesn't understand why government isn't delivering on the things they think are really important.
Much of Sir Keir Starmer's time as Prime Minister is taken up by foreign affairs, wars in Ukraine and the Middle East, managing a mercurial American president, building closer relations with Europe, at home and abroad.
Yeah, I know it is, because I needed it to be in alignment with the radio. I was straining my neck to look up, so I thought if I bring the bed up, I'll be able to see the radio.
So your mum's called us today,
Oh, okay.
and she said that she's a bit concerned because have you had some deaths from an ex-partner or something?
Oh, that was like last August, and there's a restraining order in place.
Oh, she thinks it...
So I've already contacted the police about it, so
Okay.
it wasn't a recent thing at all. It was
Oh,
last
okay,
August.
she said we thought it were recent.
Yeah, no, it was
do it-
last August, and the police have already been contacted
Oh, that's
about
fine.
it. There's a
So you don't-
restraining order in place, so you can't come anywhere near me.
So you don't need us to do anything?
No.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, he's not going to come and kill me because I'm in hospital. But anyway, there's a restraint. I've already been to court. I've been to court. There's been judges. The judges have seen the voicemails. There's a restraining order in place. So,
Because I was going to do this dash form with you. It's about...
I mean, and the threats aren't just to me. They're to her, and they're to her husband, and they're to my son as well. So the threats he made were to my whole family,
Yeah.
including his own child. So I don't know why she's presenting that she should just be concerned about me. She should be concerned about herself because he's threatened to kill her too. So if anything, she should be calling the police to get the restraining order for the family herself, because like I say, I've got a restraining order in place to protect myself. None of them have got any restraining orders.
Okay.
This is the honest truth. So he's threatened to kill all of us. They don't have any protective orders in place. I do.
Have you told her to get some protective orders in place?
No, because she can't. I haven't spoken to her whilst I've been here. So I don't have a phone at the moment. I'm waiting for a new phone. So
Okay.
I don't